Have you ever thought about the fact that while you're sitting comfortably at home, there are people working hundreds of meters below the Earth's surface, or diving into ocean depths that would make any ordinary person tremble just at the thought? And you know what's even more impressive? These folks are earning salaries that most people only see in Hollywood movies. Today, I'm going to reveal 7 extreme careers that take place in the most isolated and inhospitable locations in the United States and around the world that pay serious money. I'm talking about jobs that require courage, dedication, and a very specific type of professional. These are jobs that most people don't even know exist, yet they generate billions of dollars every year in the American economy. And hey, I can guess what you're thinking. That must be way too dangerous, or I need years of college for that. Hold on a second, because I'm going to show you that it's not always like that. Some of these careers actually value practical experience and specific certifications much more than traditional degrees. Sure, there's risk involved, but that's exactly why the salaries are so high. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. Would you have the guts to work for weeks on end without seeing sunlight? Or spend months on a platform in the middle of the ocean, surrounded only by water as far as the eye can see? Yeah, it's not for everyone. But for those with the right profile, these opportunities can completely change their financial lives. I'll share real stories of people who left regular jobs in climate-controlled offices and now earn more in a month than many professionals do in an entire year. And I'm not exaggerating one bit. We're talking about salaries starting at $100,000 a year and easily reaching $300,000 or more, depending on specialization and experience level. But don't think it's easy money. These professionals face extreme conditions, work heavy shifts, stay away from their families for long periods, and need to have above-average physical and mental preparation. It's a lifestyle that's completely different from what most people are used to. However, for many, it's worth every bit of it. What I love most about these careers is that they completely break the myth that you need an expensive college degree to earn well. Sure, education is important, but in the world of extreme jobs, what really counts is your skill, your willingness to learn, and your ability to handle challenging situations. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you on a journey into these fascinating professions. I'll show you exactly how much these professionals earn, what the requirements are to get into the field, the real challenges they face day to day, and most importantly, how you can prepare if any of these careers grab your interest. Get ready, because some of these jobs will completely surprise you. Some you might have heard of vaguely, but others are so specific and unusual that I bet you never imagined anyone could make a living doing that. And the most interesting part? All these opportunities are available right here in the United States, a country that, unlike many others, values and pays well for specialized professionals. So take a deep breath and join me on this exploration of extreme and highly lucrative careers. I guarantee that by the end of this video, you will see the job market with completely different eyes. And who knows, maybe you'll even discover your next professional calling. Let's go. Hey, before we proceed, if you're enjoying this content and want to learn more about incredible salaries and careers in the United States, subscribe to the Salary Uncovered channel. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new videos, and please share this content with someone who's on the lookout for new job opportunities. It really helps the channel grow and brings you more valuable information. Career 1. Saturation diver in deep waters. Let's kick off with perhaps the most extreme career of all. Saturation diver. Do you know what that entails? These professionals dive to depths reaching 300 meters or more beneath the ocean's surface to carry out complex tasks on oil rigs, underwater pipelines, and offshore structures. Now here's a striking detail. These divers live in pressurized chambers for weeks, sometimes up to an entire month, because the decompression process is so lengthy that it's not worth it to ascend and descend daily. They literally reside at the bottom of the sea. They eat, sleep, and rest, all in a pressurized environment. And how much do they earn? Entry-level saturation divers in the United States start with salaries between $120,000 and $150,000 per year. However, more seasoned professionals, those who tackle the most complex and hazardous operations, can easily exceed earnings of $250,000 to $350,000 annually. That's an incredible salary, right? But it comes at a cost. The job is physically and mentally draining. The extreme pressure impacts the body in ways you can't even imagine. Joint issues are common. The need to be confined in small spaces with others for long durations requires a very specific psychological profile. To enter this field, you must first become a certified commercial diver, which usually takes 6 months to a year of intensive training. After that, you work as a shallow water diver for a few years to gain experience before you can undertake specialized saturation diving courses. Opportunities mainly lie in the Gulf of Mexico, where there's a massive concentration of offshore platforms. Companies like Oceaneering, Subsea 7, and Technip FMC are always on the lookout for qualified professionals. The demand is high because few possess the profile and courage necessary for this type of work. One fascinating aspect: when these professionals return home after a month of work, they typically enjoy 2 to 4 weeks off. So, the pattern is to work intensely for a period and then have a long break. For many, this is the best of both worlds. Career 2. Drilling operator on oil platforms. Now, let's discuss those who work on oil platforms, but not underwater, above it. Drilling operators, known as roughnecks and drillers, are essential to the entire energy industry in the United States. These platforms are often located tens or even hundreds of kilometers offshore. Workers live there for periods ranging from 14 to 28 consecutive days, working 12-hour shifts. It's intense, tiring, but extremely lucrative. An entry-level operator on an offshore platform in the United States earns between $55,000 and $75,000 per year. It may seem low compared to a diver. Hold on. As you gain experience and take on roles with greater responsibility, like lead driller or operations supervisor, your salary can jump to $130,000 to $200,000 annually. Platform managers, who oversee all operations, can earn between $250,000 and $350,000 annually. These are individuals who often began as entry-level workers and have climbed the ranks within the company. The job is physically demanding and can pose risks. You deal with heavy machinery, flammable substances, and harsh weather conditions, particularly in the North Sea or the Gulf of Mexico during hurricane season. However, companies heavily invest in safety training, making accidents relatively rare when protocols are adhered to. To get started, a college degree isn't necessary. Many firms hire directly from high school and provide all the essential training. What do they seek? A willingness to engage in hard work, the ability to follow instructions meticulously, and a desire to learn. The prime regions for these jobs in the United States include the Gulf of Mexico, especially near Louisiana and Texas, as well as Alaska, which also hosts significant operations. Companies like Transocean, Halliburton, and Schlumberger dominate the industry. Here's an interesting detail. Many platform workers use this job as a stepping stone to even more lucrative careers in the industry. With experience, some transition to independent consulting, others start their own service companies for the sector, and some move into management positions on shore that offer a great quality of life while maintaining high salaries. Career 3. Deep underground miner. While some work at the ocean's depths, others choose the Earth's depths. I'm referring to miners who work in underground mines, extracting valuable minerals, coal, rare metals, and other essential natural resources for the modern economy. In the United States, the deepest mines can reach over 1,000 meters below the surface. It's a completely different world down there. Dark, hot, humid, and cut off from the outside world. Miners descend in elevators or ramps at the start of their shifts and don't see sunlight again for many hours. But here's what makes all that challenge worthwhile: the salaries. An entry-level underground miner earns between $45,000 and $65,000 a year. It's not spectacular, but it's just the beginning. As you gain experience and specialize in more technical roles, such as operating underground heavy equipment or controlled explosions, your salary increases rapidly. Specialized machine operators earn between $75,000 and $110,000 annually. Shift supervisors can make between $130,000 and $160,000. And mine managers, who coordinate all operations and ensure everyone's safety, can earn between $180,000 and $250,000 a year. States like Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Alaska, and Montana are where you'll find the greatest opportunities. Nevada, for instance, is the largest gold producer in the United States, and its mines are vast, employing thousands of individuals. The work demands physical strength, but also practical intelligence. You need to grasp basic geology, safety protocols, complex machinery operation, and teamwork. Safety is treated with utmost seriousness because the risks are real: cave-ins, gas explosions, and underground flooding. Modern companies invest millions in safety technology. Sensors continuously monitor air quality, structural stability, and the whereabouts of each worker. Many large mines feature sophisticated ventilation systems, adequate lighting, and state-of-the-art communication equipment. So, which of these careers has caught your attention the most so far? Share in the comments. Would you have the courage to work underwater on a platform in the middle of the ocean or deep within a mine? I'm eager to know which of these options you find more appealing or more intimidating. Career 4. Transmission and Telecommunications Tower Maintenance Technician. Now let's ascend. Literally. While the other careers I've mentioned involve going down or to remote places at sea level, this one is for those who aren't afraid of heights. Very, very high heights. Transmission and telecommunications tower technicians scale structures that can be 60, 100, 150 meters tall, or even more, without an elevator. They literally climb rung by rung, carrying heavy equipment to install, maintain, and repair cell antennas, radio and TV transmission gear, and telecommunications infrastructure. Picture yourself swaying at the top of a tower over 120 meters high with the wind howling, having only a safety harness between you and the ground far below. This is precisely what these professionals do on a regular basis. And how much do they earn for this bravery? Entry-level technicians start with salaries between $40,000 and $55,000 a year. Doesn't seem like much, right? But wait. As you gain experience, obtain specialized certifications, and take on more complex and dangerous jobs, your salary increases significantly. Experienced technicians earn between $70,000 and $95,000 annually. Those who specialize in emergency work, like urgent repairs during storms or natural disasters, can make between $110,000 and $150,000. Team supervisors or project managers can earn as much as $170,000 to $220,000 each year. A major advantage of this career is its geographic flexibility. Telecommunications towers are literally found all over the country. From large cities to remote rural areas, there's always a demand for these professionals. And with the expansion of 5G networks happening now, the demand is higher than ever. Many technicians work as independent contractors or for specialized companies that provide services to major telecom operators. This means you can choose where to work and often how much to work. Some prefer to stay in one region, others travel all over the country, taking short-term projects that pay very well. To get started in this field, you need to undergo specific safety training for working at heights, obtain OSHA certifications, the U.S. Occupational Safety Agency, and ideally have some experience in electrical work or telecommunications. However, many companies offer training programs for beginners without prior experience. The risk is there, I won't lie. Accidents can and do happen, although they are rare when all safety protocols are strictly followed. But for those with the right profile, especially for those unafraid of heights, it's a solid career with excellent growth potential. Career 5. Equipment operator in remote land oil fields. Not all extreme jobs in the energy industry happen at sea. There are land operations in locations as isolated and inhospitable as any offshore platform. I'm talking about oil and gas fields in places like northern Alaska, remote areas of North Dakota, Wyoming, and Texas. These workers operate heavy equipment, supervise land drilling operations, and maintain extraction infrastructure running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Many of these locations are hours away from the nearest town. In the Alaskan winter, temperatures can plummet to 20, 30, even 40 degrees Celsius below zero. In the Texas summer, heat can soar above 40 degrees Celsius. These are climatic extremes that most people can hardly fathom facing in their daily work lives. However, the salaries make it worthwhile. Entry-level operators earn between $50,000 and $68,000 annually. Experienced operators of specialized equipment can make between $80,000 and $115,000. Operations supervisors can earn between $130,000 and $175,000 each year. What makes this career particularly appealing to some is the work schedule. Many remote operations function on rotations. You work 14 or 21 consecutive days, residing in company-provided camps, followed by 14 or 21 days of complete time off. It's intense while you're on the job, but the extended breaks are a significant perk. Camps typically provide accommodation, all meals, laundry services, and even entertainment options like TV, internet, when available, and gyms. You hardly spend anything during your work period, allowing you to save a substantial portion of your salary. To enter this field, having experience with heavy machinery, tractors, excavators, large trucks can be beneficial, but it's not mandatory. Many companies offer extensive training. What they truly seek are reliable individuals who work well in teams, have no issues with isolation, and are willing to labor hard under challenging conditions. A common path is starting in a basic position, such as general helper or operator of simple equipment, and advancing as you learn the operations and obtain additional certifications. Many workers eventually become supervisors, field managers, or even start their own service companies for the industry. Companies like BP, ConocoPhillips, EOG Resources, and dozens of smaller ones are constantly looking for qualified workers. Here's a valuable tip. Many of these companies offer significant hiring bonuses, sometimes ranging from $5,000 to $15,000, to attract new employees, especially for the most remote locations. Career 6. Nuclear Plant Maintenance Technician. Now, let's discuss a career that merges cutting-edge technology, extreme safety, and impressive salaries. Nuclear plant maintenance technicians are highly specialized professionals responsible for keeping the 93 commercial nuclear power plants operating in the United States. These experts work with complex cooling systems, generators, turbines, and, of course, radioactive materials. It's a unique work environment where attention to detail and strict adherence to safety protocols are literally a matter of life and death. Many nuclear plants are located in relatively remote areas, away from major population centers. Technicians often work rotating shifts that include nights, weekends, and holidays, since these facilities never cease operation. Now comes the intriguing part. How much do these professionals earn? Entry-level technicians with basic certifications start with salaries between $65,000 and $80,000 per year. That's already a solid income. But as you gain experience, obtain more advanced certifications, and take on greater responsibilities, the compensation increases substantially. Senior technicians earn between $95,000 and $135,000 annually. Specialists in specific systems, such as reactor cooling systems or nuclear instrumentation, can earn between $140,000 and $180,000. And maintenance supervisors or managers can reach salaries from $200,000 to $260,000 per year. But here lies the true advantage: job security. The nuclear industry is incredibly stable. Once you're in, with a solid work history, it's practically guaranteed that you'll have employment for as long as you desire. Nuclear plants operate for decades, and there's a consistent demand for skilled technicians. Hold on, if you find this information valuable and want to keep discovering amazing careers that pay well, don't forget to subscribe to the Salary Uncovered channel. Hit the notification bell to receive updates on all new videos. We're halfway through and more surprising revelations are coming up. To enter this career, you typically need some technical training. Many nuclear technicians come from the U.S. Navy, where they receive training in nuclear systems for submarines and ships. However, there are also civilian training programs available at community colleges and specialized technical schools. Certifications are stringent. You must undergo extremely thorough background checks, including criminal and financial histories, and even interviews with people who know you. The nuclear industry takes safety very, very seriously. States like Pennsylvania, Illinois, South Carolina, North Carolina, and New York have the highest concentrations of nuclear plants. Companies like Duke Energy, Exelon, and Dominion Energy are among the largest employers in the field. A significant advantage of this career is that, in addition to an excellent base salary, many nuclear technicians enjoy impressive benefits. Comprehensive health insurance for the entire family, a generous retirement plan, annual bonuses, and, in many cases, assistance for continuing education. Career 7. Project engineer in remote construction locations. To wrap up our list, let's discuss a career that may not be as extreme as diving into the ocean or working with radioactive materials, but definitely involves working in remote locations and earning six-figure salaries. Project engineers in remote construction. I'm referring to professionals who oversee the construction of infrastructure in isolated areas, bridges in remote mountainous regions, roads in Alaska, hydropower plants in distant locations, military installations at remote bases, and so on. These engineers spend weeks or months living in camps or small towns near their projects, away from their families and the comforts of urban life. They manage construction teams, coordinate complex logistics, because transporting materials and equipment to remote sites is always challenging, ensure deadlines are met, and that everything is built according to specifications. Salaries: junior project engineers start earning between $70,000 and $90,000 per year. Not bad for a newcomer. But advancement is swift for competent professionals. Project engineers with a few years of experience earn between $100,000 and $140,000 annually. Senior project managers, who oversee multiple teams and larger projects, earn between $150,000 and $210,000. And construction directors, who manage entire portfolios of projects, can easily reach salaries from $250,000 to $350,000 per year, especially in large, heavy construction companies. Interestingly, many of these projects offer location bonuses, a substantial incentive for working in remote or challenging conditions. This bonus can increase the base salary by 20, 30, or even 50%, depending on how remote or demanding the location is. For instance, projects in Alaska often provide the best compensation packages due to the extreme weather and isolation. Projects in remote indigenous reservations or conservation areas also tend to pay significant premiums. To pursue this career, you typically need a degree in civil engineering, although some companies accept construction technologists with substantial experience. However, the degree is just the beginning. What truly sets you apart is your willingness to go where few dare to venture and your ability to tackle complex problems with limited resources. Heavy construction firms like Bechtel, Kiewit, Fluor, and Jacobs Engineering consistently have projects in remote locations across the United States and even internationally. For professionals willing to travel and work in these challenging environments, opportunities abound. Many engineers adopt this strategy. They spend 10 to 15 years working on remote projects, saving aggressively since living in camps minimizes expenses, and then transition to urban office positions or start their own consulting firms. It's a smart way to rapidly build wealth early in their careers. Common threads among these careers. Now that you're familiar with these 7 extreme and lucrative careers, let's discuss what they all have in common, as this is crucial if you're considering one of these paths. First, all demand significant personal sacrifices. You'll spend time away from family, friends, and the comfort of home. You'll miss birthdays, holidays, and important events. This lifestyle isn't for everyone, and it's entirely understandable if you decide it's not for you. Second, all offer unconventional work schedules. Forget the traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 routine. You'll work whenever the job needs to get done, whether that means 12-hour shifts for weeks on end or intense seasonal projects. Third, all pay significantly above the national average precisely because of these sacrifices. The median salary in the United States hovers around $55,000 per year. All the careers I've mentioned pay at least that at the entry level, with many exceeding the $100,000 mark after a few years of experience. Fourth, all value practical skills and specific certifications as much as, or sometimes even more than, traditional college degrees. This opens doors for those who either don't want or can't pursue a 4-year degree, but are willing to commit to specialized training. Fifth, all offer excellent job security. America needs energy, communication infrastructure, minerals, and construction. These are fundamental industries that won't disappear. Skilled professionals in these fields will always find work. Sixth, all provide clear paths for career advancement. You can start in entry-level positions and, with hard work and dedication, rise to supervisory, management, and eventually leadership roles. Many of the managers and executives in these industries began exactly where you would. Seventh, all require a strong commitment to safety. You'll undergo intensive safety training, need to adhere to strict protocols, and must always remain vigilant. In extreme environments, even a small mistake can have serious consequences. And what about you? Have you ever worked, or do you know someone who does, in any of these fields? How was the experience? Share your story in the comments. I love reading real-life accounts from people living these everyday realities. How to get started? If you're interested, you might be thinking, all right, some of these careers intrigue me. How do I begin? Great question. Let me provide you with some practical guidance. First step. Conduct thorough research on the specific career that caught your interest. Don't rely solely on this video. Seek out online forums where professionals from these fields share their experiences. Reddit, Facebook, and LinkedIn groups are excellent starting points. Inquire about the real challenges, not just the pay. Second step, honestly assess if you fit the profile. Be brutally honest with yourself. Can you truly handle prolonged isolation, extreme physical conditions, being away from family for weeks or months? If the answer is no, that's perfectly fine. It's better to realize this before investing time and money in training. Third step, identify the specific entry requirements. Each of these careers has its own prerequisites. For some, you'll need specific certifications, which can be obtained from technical schools. For others, you might start in basic positions without special qualifications and learn on the job. Fourth step, consider starting in a related but less extreme position. For instance, if you eventually want to work on offshore platforms, you could begin in land-based oil operations. If you aim to be a nuclear technician, starting as an industrial electrician could be beneficial. Gain relevant experience while deciding if you truly want to pursue the more extreme path. Fifth step, connect with specialized recruiters. There are recruitment agencies that focus specifically on industries like oil and gas, mining, and heavy construction. They can provide valuable insights into what companies are looking for and may even connect you directly with opportunities. Sixth step, prepare financially. Some of the training and certifications required can cost several $1,000s. You might need to travel to training centers. It may take months before landing your first job. Ensure you have a financial cushion or a plan to cover these initial costs. Seventh step, be ready to start small. Chances are you won't begin earning $150,000 in your first year. Most individuals in these industries start in entry-level positions with more modest salaries and grow over time. However, advancement can be swift if you're dedicated. Eighth step, take care of your health. Many of these careers have strict medical requirements. Heart issues, severe respiratory problems, or certain chronic conditions may disqualify you. Some jobs require rigorous annual medical exams. Stay in good physical shape. Ninth step, develop interpersonal skills. It might seem odd to mention this for jobs that often occur in isolated locations, but because you'll be working in small, close-knit teams for extended periods, getting along with others is crucial. No one wants to work with someone difficult when they're stuck together on a platform in the middle of the ocean. 10th step, be patient, yet persistent. Landing your first job in one of these industries can take time. You may face rejections, networking, attending industry-specific job fairs, and sending dozens of resumes might be necessary. But if you genuinely want it, keep trying. Persistence pays off. The challenges nobody talks about now. I'm going to be completely honest about some challenges in these careers that aren't always mentioned when discussing the high salaries. Personal relationships endure challenges. It's a harsh but true reality. Many marriages struggle to survive when one partner spends most of the year away from home. If you have children, you will miss much of their growth. Birthdays, school games, significant events, you'll miss many of those moments. Some families manage to cope with this, while others do not. Mental health can be impacted. Prolonged isolation, the stress of hazardous work, lack of sunlight in some cases, all of this can take a psychological toll. Depression and anxiety are real issues in these industries. Fortunately, many modern companies are beginning to offer mental health support, but it's still something to consider seriously. The body endures wear and tear, heavy physical labor, exposure to extreme conditions, long shifts. All of these affect your body over the years. Many professionals in these fields develop back problems, joint issues, or hearing loss due to constant noise. It's vital to take good care of your body and keep up with regular health checkups. Social life essentially vanishes during work periods. When you're on an offshore platform or in a remote mine, you won't be going out for dinner with friends, hitting the cinema, or attending parties. Your social life becomes confined to co-workers. For highly social individuals, this can be very challenging. Boredom can become a real issue. It seems odd to discuss boredom while engaged in such intense work, but during downtime in remote locations, there may be very little to do. You watch TV, play video games, read, exercise, but after weeks of the same limited activities, boredom can weigh heavily. Family emergencies are complicated. If something happens back home, a family member falls ill, there's an emergency, you can't just leave work and head home. Depending on your location, it might take days to return. This can be extremely stressful when it occurs. Reintegrating after long periods away can be tough. When you finally return home after weeks or months, it's not as simple as just relaxing and enjoying family time. You need to readjust to domestic life, reconnect with your family, and deal with all the things that piled up while you were gone. Some find this transition more challenging than the work itself. Addictions can develop. Unfortunately, problematic use of alcohol and other substances is more common in these industries than in the general population. Part of this stems from stress, part from isolation, and part from the culture in certain workplaces. It's something you need to be aware of and actively avoid. Workplace safety, despite all precautions, still involves real risks. People get injured. Fatal accidents, though rare, do happen. You need to be comfortable accepting a certain level of occupational risk that is higher than in a traditional office environment. The market can be cyclical, especially in the oil and gas industry. When oil prices drop, many workers face layoffs. You might be earning well for a few years and suddenly find yourself out of a job. It's important to save aggressively and have a contingency plan. The rewards that make it worthwhile. But let's not conclude by focusing solely on the negatives. For many, the rewards of these careers far outweigh the challenges. Let's discuss this. Financial freedom is real. When you're earning $100,000, $150,000, or $200,000 a year, especially if you're young with few fixed expenses, you can accumulate wealth quickly. Many professionals in these fields pay off their homes in 5 to 10 years. They build substantial investment portfolios. They secure their retirement in their 30s or 40s. Concentrated free time is a marvel. Yes, you endure intense work periods, yet afterward you enjoy weeks or even months completely free. You can travel extensively, dedicate time to serious hobbies, and spend quality moments with family in ways that those locked in 9-to-5 jobs seldom experience. You cultivate remarkable skills. What you acquire in these careers, problem-solving under pressure, teamwork in extreme conditions, highly specialized technical competencies, are abilities that retain value throughout your life. Even if you eventually switch careers, these skills will provide significant advantages. The sense of achievement is unparalleled. There's something profoundly satisfying about performing work that many people cannot or choose not to do. You are literally keeping the nation's critical infrastructure operational. You extract essential resources, generate energy, and construct bridges and roads. It's meaningful and tangible work. The camaraderie with colleagues is exceptional. When you endure hardships alongside others, when you literally trust them with your life, very strong bonds form. Many professionals in these fields speak of friendships forged at work as some of the best in their lives. The opportunities to witness unique places are genuine. Depending on the job, you might explore parts of Alaska that few humans have tread, delve into fascinating underground structures, or work on platforms amid magnificent oceans. For adventurous souls, this is fantastic. Career progression can be much swifter than in traditional fields. In many office industries, it takes years, sometimes decades, to advance to management roles. In these sectors, if you are competent and reliable, you can become a supervisor in just a few years. You have incredible options for the future. The experience you gain in these careers opens doors. You can become an independent consultant earning even more. You might start your own service company. You could transition into corporate positions on land. Teaching and training the next generation is also an option. The possibilities are vast. We're nearing the end, but before we wrap up, tell me, did this video change your perspective on well-paying careers? Were you aware that such opportunities existed? Leave your comment below, and don't forget to like and share this video with anyone who needs to know about these amazing career alternatives. Final thoughts. So after exploring these 7 fascinating careers, saturation divers, offshore platform operators, underground miners, tower technicians, remote landfield operators, nuclear technicians, and remote project engineers, what can we conclude? There are paths to financial success that are completely different from what most people envision. You don't necessarily have to attend an expensive university, accumulate massive student debt, and compete for saturated corporate jobs. There are real, concrete alternatives that offer exceptional pay for those willing to work hard and make sacrifices. These careers are not for everyone. I emphasize this because it's important. If you value stability above all else, being home every night with your family, if you struggle with physical work, or if the thought of isolation terrifies you, that's perfectly fine. These careers likely aren't for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're young, adventurous, ready to work hard, unafraid of challenges, and eager to build wealth rapidly, these careers deserve your serious consideration. They can literally change your life in just a few years. America remains a nation where, if you're willing to pursue what most are not, you can attain significant financial success. These sectors are urgently seeking skilled workers. The aging workforce indicates that more individuals are retiring from these jobs than young people are entering them. Opportunities await you. However, don't rush into this decision. Conduct thorough research, engage with people currently in these fields, visit the workplaces if possible, and fully comprehend what you are getting into. Making an informed decision is always preferable to diving headfirst into something without understanding the implications. And keep in mind, you don't have to commit to this forever. Many people strategically utilize these careers, working diligently for 10 to 15 years, saving rigorously, accumulating wealth, and then shifting to something less strenuous. This is a perfectly valid approach. It's also crucial to recognize that these industries are evolving. Technology is making many of these roles safer and less physically demanding than they used to be. Robotics, automation, and advanced monitoring systems. All of this is transforming the nature of work. This implies that opportunities will persist, but the necessary skills may change. If you choose to investigate any of these careers, I strongly urge you to do so. Don't allow fear of the unknown or societal pressure to follow a more conventional route deter you from pursuing something that could genuinely enhance your financial situation. At the same time, be prudent, plan ahead, save diligently, invest your money wisely. Avoid the trap of earning a substantial income and spending even more. Many workers in these sectors earn impressive salaries but have little to show after years of labor because they splurged on luxury cars, gadgets, and an extravagant lifestyle. Utilize that income to establish a solid financial base, eliminate debts, create a strong emergency fund, invest for retirement, purchase a home. Build real and enduring wealth, not just a high income that disappears as swiftly as it arrives, and prioritize your well-being, both physically and mentally. These jobs can be demanding on the body and mind. Exercise regularly. Maintain a healthy diet, even when choices are limited. Stay connected with friends and family. Seek professional assistance if you feel mentally overwhelmed. Your health is more important than any paycheck. Finally, take pride in the work you do. These are honest, vital careers that keep our society functioning. No one should look down on workers who engage in what many cannot or will not do. You are providing essential services, and that deserves respect. I hope this video has opened your eyes to possibilities you may not have been aware of. The world of work is much more diverse and fascinating than just offices and computers. There is space for all kinds of people, with various interests and skills. Whatever path you choose, I wish you success, security, and fulfillment. And remember, there is no single correct path. The right path is the one that suits you, your circumstances, your goals, and your values. We've reached the end. If this video has been helpful to you in any way, if you learned something new, or if you simply found it interesting, please give that thumbs up. Subscribe to the Salary Uncovered channel if you haven't yet. We have plenty more amazing content about careers and salaries in the United States. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any new videos. Share this video with your friends, your family, or anyone you think would benefit from this information. And leave your comment below telling me which of these careers surprised you the most, or if you know of any other high-paying extreme careers. I love interacting with you in the comments. Until the next video, and remember, your professional success is in your hands.